Sports betting, technology, fans, you can blame whoever you want, but one thing is for certain, the game is changing, and baseball has evolved dramatically over the last decade, going back to 2015 when Rob Manfred was instated into Major League Baseball as commissioner, taking over Bud Selig. Baseball has made tremendous strides into evolving the game, making the game better. Now that's up for you to decide whether or not the game is actually better than it was 10 years ago. I would say it is. I know there's been a lot of hate towards Rob Manfred. I'm not saying he's this angel, because he's not, but I think Rob Manfred has done a good job of changing the game for the better. And again, I've always been a baseball fan. That will never change. You know what I'm saying? So 10 years ago I was a baseball fan. Now I'm a baseball fan. 10 years from now I'm going to be a baseball fan. But I think Rob has done a great job of making the game more innovative, and whether the games were 3 hours long or 3.5 hours long or 2.5 hours long, real baseball fans were always going to be there. They would never waver. And so again, you want to cater to the casual fans and the non-baseball fans, and for instance, and make them kind of grow into the game and like the game. With the new rule changes, basically speed up the game. Slippery slope, kind of walk on, but I think overall Major League Baseball has done a good job, and I've been in favor for most of the changes. I understand people don't like change at first, myself included, but baseball has done a good job at really getting fans to buy in, and overall the game being better. We saw the pitch clock as this thing that, oh my gosh, it's forsaken, how could this ever happen? And the pitch clock has done wonders for baseball. So I think, and by the way, when the pitch clock came in, I was in favor of the pitch clock. Before ever seeing it in a regular season game, whatever, I say, you know what, this is going to be good, it's going to work out, I like the idea, and they've tweaked it a couple of times, and so I think right now, I think the pitch clock is good for baseball, and it's going to be good for baseball going forward. You don't have these 3-hour games. Like I said, if guys want to walk around the mound and you know, do whatever they want, adjust the batting gloves, that's fine. I was always there watching those games, but let's be honest, it's a lot. You go back and watch those games 15 years ago, they would do it a lot. I mean, Pedro Baez, Dodger fans remember Pedro Baez. That guy used to take a minute to throw one pitch. He was not only did he take a minute, he was bad. Like, he wasn't good, and he was a Dodger for a long time. He just kind of hung around, and Pedro Baez, man, he used to take forever. That guy stuck out to me as far as a guy that, like, in the pitch clock days, oh my goodness, what would it be now? Baseball has done a great job, and so now the ABS system, which is the point of this video, ABS system, again, talking about the new rules that baseball has done. Is the future of baseball in good hands? Let me know in the comment section. But the ABS system is a brand new rule, and again, so this is my thing with when it comes to balls and strikes. Why don't we just have the technology in place to call a ball and a strike? So obviously the ABS system has the automatic strike zone, but only a pitcher, catcher, or batter could challenge a ball or strike call from the umpire. It's been in spring training. We've seen it in spring training games. Teams have 2 challengers for the first 7 innings, I think it is, or whatever, and you can retrieve the challenge if you get the correct call. But you know, we've seen it, and again, my whole thing the whole time has been, why don't we just have an automated ball strike zone? And so I've looked up some information. The MLB actually released like an article or whatever on their site talking about the ABS system. It's like, majority of fans don't want an automated ball strike zone. Now, I'm actually in favor of an automated ball strike zone. I mean, you want to get the calls right. You know, you want to get the calls right for that too. You know, sports betting is a big part of pretty much all sports nowadays, and you want to make the right calls. You think it's going one way or the other for whatever team. You want to make the right calls at any given time. So I'm in favor of automatic ball strike zone, but I get the, you know, human elements behind the plate. I'm not saying put a robot back there, but I'm saying have the human back there and have a buzzer or whatever the case is in his right ear or right arm, whatever the case is, that's a strike, and a left buzzer on his left arm, it's a ball. Would you guys be in favor of a full automated ball strike zone? For me, I am in favor of that. It's like, oh, well, you take away the framing behind catchers and the call that maybe a ball or a strike because he did a good frame job. I get it. I understand that, and so in that case, it's like, yeah, you might be right. But if you want to make the right calls, you don't want to get upset at the umpire, unless you want that, unless that's what you want as part of the human element, getting upset at umpires, then go ahead and keep it the way it is now with the 2 challenges per. But again, I feel like we are eventually heading towards an automatic ball strike zone. I think this is just kind of the rundown really quickly. but we're eventually shifting towards an ABS, an all ABS system. Now, according to reports, Rob Manfred is going to be out of the game here in a few years. I think 2028 or 2029. He's going to be stepping down as commissioner. So we'll see what the game changes, but Rob Manfred has certainly not been afraid to make any more moves. And this is just the latest in the game of baseball.